Hello, this is Yo Sensei. Information graphics is a great tool to understand complex information using simple graphic representation. We are going to learn several techniques of creating quantifiable graphics using Adobe Illustrator, including pathfinder, stroke types, color guides, and so on. This technique is applicable for creating visual diagrams. Okay, let's get started. So first up, open the file from description below, and it will open up this file. And the way this file works is that when you go into layers, there are different layers that will show different topics that are represented here. Okay, so let's get started. So let's activate the second layer, 01 round corners, and turn off the title, and then activate this one. So first, when you're creating this kind of icons, it would be nice to be able to create this kind of simple graphics using simple primitive tools. So we can start by creating a rectangle, holding shift to create a rectangle. And when you create a rectangle, it will give you this tiny little dot inside of the corner. So this will enable you to create round corners on this object. So that is good. So add a rounded corner to this. And then what I want to do is to sample color for this one. So click on this one and select eyedropper tool, which is I for the shortcut. So you can sample this color. Okay, so inside of this box, we will also create this white box with eyedropper tool and kind of adjust the size, and then create round corners. On this one, we would like to create this kind of tapered shape. So what you can do is just draw a box. Okay, and with this, what I would do is to click on the direct selection tool, click on this corner, and push the downward arrow like a bunch of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. And same number of times you will click on this arrow. And then in this case, it will show you this option to create round corner if you select direct selection tool. But if you round everything, then it's not going to get this kind of result. So what you want to do is to, using direct selection tool, click on this anchor point and this anchor point, and then add roundedness. And for these, add different, number of roundedness. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's creating a rounded corner on the shape. Additionally, what you want to do is select these ones and align them at the middle and kind of adjust the distance of these objects. Okay, so that would be the rounded corner one. Next one, strokes. So the strokes in Illustrator is really important thing to know. So for example, I am going to create, using the pen tool, I am going to create this kind of line. Okay, and at this point, this is only fill. Okay, so what you want to do is going to color and click on this top and bottom arrow next to color, and this will activate more detailed control of the color. So you can swap between fill and stroke by clicking on this this one, this double arrow, and then change the stroke color to black. So this is a black stroke color. And next thing that you want to do is going to stroke. And by default, stroke doesn't really have too much options. So again, you can click on this top and bottom arrow to show the options. So the first thing, you can change the stroke weight, which is nice. And then by default, this corner is really sharp and the cap is very sharp. So you can change the corner and the cap option to create a relatively rounded type of thing. And you can also change the dash using this. So I'm just going to copy this line a few times so that we can show different options. So first one is solid. So you can click on this one and then click on dash line. So this one is going to create, I think by default you will get like 6 point and no option line. And so this is a 6 point dash and then gap is not specified. So if you do this, then you can click on dash line and then you can, for example, say 4 point dash and then 20 point gap or maybe 12 point gap. And so you can really control how much of dash and dot that you can get. You can even do something like dash is 4 point, gap is 12 point, and then dash is 12 point, gap is 12 point, and dash. So you can do dash dot type of stroke as well. So these are the strokes. And additionally, what you could do is you can add arrowheads using this one. And then, there are different types of arrows, so you can like really play with the strokes. So that would be the strokes. So you can create this kind of like dash dot type of thing pretty easily. So in this case, the way I would do it is to just make it into no dash, and then add very thick stroke and change it to direct selection tool and take all of these corners and add roundedness and then copy and paste and then add white stroke at everything, move it at the same location and then add dash line. So that's how you would build this kind of graphics. Okay, so that is stroke, and quantity is a really interesting one. So when you're working on information graphics, you will be creating this kind of graphs, and there is a graph tool and there is a scientific way of doing this. But I guess the easiest way to do it is to create ellipse, and I am going to change color. So this is ellipse, and you can create a line from the center, which should be a stroke, and so 360 degrees, so 15% is 45 degrees. So you can click on the rotate tool, click on this one, and rotate while holding Option or Alt to duplicate. So that would be rotating by this amount, and you can do the numbers accordingly. So if you want to do 10%, then that would be 36 degrees. So you can rotate, double click rotate tool and type 36 and click yes. So that's negative 36%. So I'm just going to rotate again and negative 36 degrees. So that's that is our 10% number. So okay. So you can like really play with the numbers and get this kind of thing. So at this point, this is 10%. So if you hold Shift and Option, then this is 10, and then 10%, and this is another 10% here. So you can like select this, select all of these, and go to Pathfinder, Window, and Pathfinder, and then divide to create this division. Ungroup, and add white stroke. Then you will have this kind of divided piece. Okay, and for these graphs, it's the same thing. So you can do something like this. And then I'm just going to draw a horizontal line. And then copy this one, Control D, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then align the top one to the top, and then evenly distribute these lines. So that's 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, 100%. So you can divide this one again by this, and ungroup. And then at this point, we have these pieces that are, evenly divided into 20%. And you can turn off the stroke. And so you can create graphs that has different kind of numbers. Okay. Also, you can do this kind of graph as well by drawing these lines. And hold, drag and drop with Option and Control D to duplicate, and this, and then Control D to duplicate. And you can change alignments like this. And so this is going to become your graph. Okay. So you can create different points where you want the numbers on the graph to be. And then just connect the dots. Okay, so that would be some useful ways of creating these visual data visualization graphs. Okay, so let's go to the next step. So when you're creating simple graphics, you might want to do something like this kind of like relational type of things. So the way you do it is to start with ellipse tool to create a circle. And eyedropper tool and sample this yellow, and then copy this and then create the white fill. Okay, and then you will copy this by drag and dropping this. So now what you can do is you can just simply connect between the center points of this, and this will be the yellow stroke. Okay, and then add thickness to this line, like something like 80%. And then after getting this, you can go select this path and go inside of Object and Path, Outline Stroke. So this is going to convert the path into fill. So that is good. So select all of the yellow elements and go into the Pathfinder and Unite. Okay. Then I think I made it a little bit too thick, but it's okay. So then you can click on all of these corners of where they will connect, and then drag this this part. So that is going, and then you can just bring this element backwards, arrange, bring to back. So you can create this kind of graphics pretty easy. This should have been a little bit thinner, but it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so the next step is color guide. So color guide is a super useful technique for assigning color to your information graphics. So what you can do is to create this kind of yellow dots, and maybe in different size. Okay, so that's good. So first thing that we would like to do is to find a color that I like. So double click here, and I'm going to find beautiful green, gray, blue-ish color. I like this kind of middle tone, so that's nice. And so there is this icon here that is called color guide. And this is going to let you find complementary color, compound color, triad, and all of these. So these are super useful. So if you select complementary colors, then you can select all the range of colors that would really work in terms of complementary relationships between the colors. So this is super useful. You could even like select something like triad, and these colors will always work together in a very nice way between the families of the colors. So I always use this tool to create the color combination. So super useful. Next tool is graphic elements like this. So if you're creating information graphics, it's very important for you to create this kind of relationship chart. But these lines needs to be really, really beautifully composed. So that's how you would let's show you the way to do it. So for example, I have this one circle, and I am going to copy these using drag drop with Alt key, and Control D for the repeating last command. So next, I am going to create a circle with the stroke, and then using direct selection tool, just get rid of the left half of this. Okay, I am going to align the center point of this to the center point of the circle. And then I am going to simply drag on this bottom handle, holding shift, and to keep the proportion of it, and then align it to the center point. Okay. So by doing this, you are able to create this kind of relational graphics in a perfect cadence. Very nice. So you can just copy these guys, and in different places. So yeah, so this would be super useful. So make sure that your graphics is really beautifully built. Also, when we are doing this kind of chart, what we can do is how this is going to connect to this. I am going to create another larger circle here. And then I'm just going to align this to the middle of this. Okay, and then align it to the middle of this. Okay, so the way this should work is that they should all be lines that are connecting from this center to this anchor point, and this should be a stroke. Okay. And then I guess you can just copy these, all of these, but the anchor points need to be perfectly aligned. Okay, so now I am going to take the anchor point of this and move it to the center. Anchor point of this should be moved to the center. This anchor point doesn't need to be here, and this anchor point needs to be here. So I'm just gonna make it into a stroke so that I have a better grip. So select all of these corners. And then add roundedness. Okay, so the same level of roundedness, so that you will have a continuous graphics that are, landing at the same location. Okay, so so when you're creating this kind of graphics, make sure that you are going to kind of like figure out the information and the connection of the information to be in a very, very clear graphic format, preferably using the similar types of roundedness and alignment. Okay. So I hope this was useful for you, and let's use this technique for creating your information graphics.